لكنهم طلعوا حسب حاجات جديدة، حاجات ما لها علاقة بالاتفاقية. ولذلك يعني احنا بنشوف انه اذا هم رفضوا قالوا ما دايرين السلام ده حق، لكن وجزء من الناس بتاع الصوع كمان South Sudan Opposition Alliance جزء منهم كمان رفضوا يوم الناس المجموعة مضت هي حكومة السودان other political parties and the FDs. ولذلك يعني أنا بشوف إنه الاتفاقية دي ناجحة، والاتفاقية مفتوحة لأي طرف ما أتقبل. أي طرف الراسب بعدين بنزل ويقدر يفهم الوضع ويظل بيختص وبيهمه حياة المواطن في جنوب السودان، الزول ده لازم يمضي. فلذلك نحن بنشوف إنه الاتفاق ناجح وحننفذ. احنا حنبدأ المصفوفة وحنستمر فيها والباقيين يلحقونا.
After the short break of Eid started on the 25th to finish, today was focused on the consequential issues that were supposed to address as a result of the changes made in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 of the ASIS because of the agreements that were concluded recently in Khartoum. I would say also some of the issues that were found appropriate to be discussed here by the IGAD Summit, particularly the refinement and advancement of Article 4 and 4A was also discussed here in this meeting. The meetings continued in earnest. With respect to Article 4 and 4A, we have presented as mediators different proposals, and finally the parties, apart from the government of South Sudan, agreed on a proposal that is now going to be presented to the IGAD Summit by the IGAD Council of Ministers as soon as the summit convenes. This fulfills the mandate entrusted to this round of talks by the IGAD Summit. In addition to that, we went through some of the bracketed matters that were referred to us, in addition to the consequential issues, and we resolved the bracketing in all of those matters. Particularly, we agreed on the issue of the 5 ministries that are supposed to be created anew, as we have enlarged the cabinet of South Sudan from 30 to 35. Additionally, we have agreed on the sharing of powers and competencies within the presidency. Now we have a clear line of demarcation for all of the powers and authorities that shall be shared among the 5 vice presidents. And also we finalized some of the small matters that were referred to us and found by the parties deserving some attention. Any issue that was raised and accepted by all parties was also considered. Some issues, of course, were preferred to be discussed by the parties, but nonetheless did not draw unanimity and hence were not accepted by all and consequently dropped. Nonetheless, we also found time to go through the document in its entirety, to thrash all of the issues of semantic, typos, and so on and so forth, to align the new paragraphs with all paragraphs in cross-referencing. Likewise, also we have found it appropriate to introduce some amendments and changes in the document with respect to timing. That was also introduced, and the document was finally, in its last shape, released by 5 p.m. to everybody last night. The parties went through it thoroughly, and some of the parties gave us a response and further improvements, particularly IO. The IGAD Secretariat was bent last night on those improvements, and most of them were included, apart from some of the new suggestions about the quorum and decision-making majority in the government of South Sudan. Those were not accepted because those were in fact discussed earlier and were not the subject of agreement between the parties, so they were not accepted. Other than that, almost everything was included. We have shared with the parties concerned those new amendments, particularly with IO itself, and how they have been carried out into the document. So the document now we are having is the final revitalized ARCIS. The document that we have dreamed all along of creating, and the moment that we all worked hard to arrive to. Indeed, everybody in this hall should be very proud now for this achievement. A document created by all, initialed in different stages by all, and accepted in its entirety by all. What are the steps that are supposed to be followed? The steps that are supposed to be followed are the following. This document, now produced, should be presented to the IGAD Summit. The IGAD Summit should adopt it, and then it should open it for signature by the parties. This is the procedure that was agreed by the IGAD when the HLRF was created about 2 years ago. The process of revitalizing the ARCIS. However, we found it appropriate that parties initial the document before finally presenting it to the summit. We sought the opinion of the parties with respect to the initialing. I'm happy to say that no party other than SAWA indicated that they are unable to initial at this stage. SAWA in particular said they are unable to initial not because of anything that is contained here, but because of something that they thought to be missing, which is the agreed text that we have, or rather the semi-agreed text that we have about the advancement of Article 4 and Article 4A. Our understanding is that that text is not part of the agreement. It will be handed to the IGAD Summit, and the IGAD Summit will decide whether to include it or not. So for us, it's not part of the agreement. Yet it will be presented to the IGAD Summit. Other than that, we haven't received any objection from any party. We are hopeful that also SAWA itself will find it also appropriate to join the consensus of other political parties with their point of view well taken care of. With those few words, I'm happy to open the signing, the initialing rather, of the document. The initialing will start as of now and continue up to 1 this afternoon. Every party will be having the opportunity to initial the document, and of course throughout the process the special envoy of the IGAD will be supervising the process in its entirety, and this will bring us to the end of the exercise of creating and initiating the revitalized ARCES, and we now look forward to the IGAD summit to adopt this document finally. With those few words, I thank you very much, and I look forward now to the starting of the pre-transition of South Sudan and to the starting afterwards of the transitional period of South Sudan, which will be the period where all of you here will take part in governing their country. Wishing you all the best and wishing South Sudan all the best and prosperity. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.